Hello everyone and welcome back to Deresley and another short update on my railway. Much of the work this week has been taken up with detailing the buildings, or the shops rather, in the town diorama. I've also taken delivery of some lampposts which I haven't fitted yet. I need to find some locations for these. I have 10 in total. Whether I'll fit them all is yet to be seen. Anyway, I left you last time with a look at the tangle of wires under my control panels. I'm trying to reverse the travelling directions on my railway because I got them back to front. So I've redesigned the control panel faces slightly, and there wasn't as much work as I thought there was going to be to correct the problem with the direction of travel. However, the one thing that will take a little longer are the signals themselves, because they are showing red when they should be green and vice versa. This involves taking up the signal lighting and switching the wires over. It also means on the signal nearest to the bridge that it is now on the right hand side of the train as the train leaves, and it should be on the left. This shows the signal near the bridge that needs to be moved from this position here to the position behind the buffers where it will be passed on the left as the train departs. But one thing I've wanted to do for a while now is to rebuild the base of my water tower. This is the original one, built in 2016, and over the years it's really faded badly, and as you can see with the one clipped and banded up drying, the difference in the brick papers is really noticeable. So what I found is a product called Inkjet Fix, which is designed to protect your printer inks and guard them against undue effects of ultraviolet light. I've not used it before, and I'll keep my fingers crossed and see what happens over the weeks, months and possibly years ahead. Anyway, the original top, which was from an old Dapol kit, formerly an Airfix kit, of the water tank itself, sits nicely onto the new base, I think. I've also decided on this to redesign it slightly and get rid of the windows. I thought the black framed windows always looked a little odd, and you can see the point motors through it. So I simplified the design of it, and I've made the overall height of the underbuilding here shorter than the original printed one. Another Dapple kit that was formerly an Airfix kit is their garage, and I bought one of these quite cheap for the petrol pumps. There was a group of 3 pumps on a base, and I've modified them slightly to 2 pumps, and I've taken the top part off the 3rd pump, and I'm going to make this into a diesel pump. I've got them primed, as you can see here, and I've masked the centre sections of the pumps up, and I'm going to paint the edges in sort of a nice bright red. And this sort of red, white or red and cream colour scheme was quite prevalent in the 50s and 60s. The hoses I've carved off the rather crude plastic ones that were moulded onto the original, and replaced them with some 0.7mm solder, which you can shape to a more convincing hanging look to the rubber hose. Once the painting was done, I made the signs and the dial, you know, the clock face as it were, on the front of the pumps. I downloaded some images and scaled them and printed them myself and applied them to the pumps. That part went really well. What happened then is I sprayed them with the ink protecting spray, the anti-ultraviolet spray, and I found it had a really bad effect on the look of the acrylic paint. It's a bit of a shame because they could have looked nice, but it's probably a warning actually. I should have probably just tested them on a spare piece of painted plastic before I sprayed them onto the finished model here. The other thing I've been working on is the 4 interiors for the main shops, and this is going to be the bookshop, and the construction for the bookshop and the toy shop was pretty much the same, in that it's just a 2mm grey card base and a simple structure erected to form the walls and display areas of the shop, and then photographs from the internet, after a lot of searching, were found and rescaled and made acceptable in 1/76 scale, and then they were simply printed and cut and assembled into little squares like this. So not too much detail is needed, not too much building is going to be involved, because you're going to view them from the front, as you can see here. So the viewing angle is pretty limited. So once the shop fronts are completed, these should look pretty effective, I think. I treated the greengrocers slightly different in that I wanted some stands outside to carry some vegetables and fruits that are offered for sale. The baskets for these, or the trays for these, I made from grey card, all from 1mm grey card actually, and I cut some strip and made up some boxes or trays to take the fruit and vegetables. These are to go around the windows on the outside of the building. But I also wanted some trays of vegetables inside the shop in the window itself so that they can be viewed from the outside. I didn't need to do anything as complicated as making little trays. For this, I just simply cut trays directly from 2mm board, and then I reduced photographs of vegetables I found and fruit and printed them onto self-adhesive paper and simply cut them out and stuck them on. They are not going to look as convincing as the ones on the outside of the shop, but with the restricted view through the shop window, they'll look perfectly good, I think. Anyway, back to the vegetables on display outside. I found for this simple things I already had. After a quick visit to the kitchen, I came away with some mustard seeds and some coriander seeds and some black peppercorn, and this coupled with some woodland scenics for the green vegetables, I was able to make up this set of vegetable trays. I fixed them into the trays themselves by using PVA, spreading it around in each basket, putting in the seeds and the detailing, and when it was dry just put some dilute PVA over it to seal it all in, exactly the same as you would, or very similar to the way you would treat the ballasting on your track. Another aspect of shop interiors is the far wall. You view it through the window and you can see across to the far wall. This only really affected some of the shops in this group. In fact, it only affected the butcher shop because the views were restricted through the central block of offices and the greengrocers on the right. There were blinds halfway down the windows on the greengrocers. Anyway, with everything finished and suitably sort of adorned with a little bit of detailing, I think the effect looks pretty convincing. And I'm glad to say that the first of these major buildings in the diorama have now been fixed permanently to the baseboard. So I will carry on with the other shop in this group. So I hope you like this quick video and it gives you some more ideas and things to do on your railways. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and feel free to comment in the usual way. And I'll see you next time.